Hello, astrology learners. Welcome back to Lisa Astro Channel. Today is going to be a unique discussion, and it's going to be a little lengthy one, but I promise you it'll be worth the viewing. Today, we are going to be discussing a topic that is not widely discussed on YouTube. I am going to be sharing the mythological stories of the 7 planets, or graha, in Hindu astrology. I have already covered the mythological stories of Rahu and Ketu. If you missed that video, the link is in the description below, and you can view that. According to the Vedas, the planets are the instruments of God, by which the law of karma operates. According to the ancient scriptures, Lord Vishnu has reincarnated as the 9 planets to bestow on living beings the results of their karmas or actions. The planets, besides their huge physical mass that they are tremendous spiritual energies. Each planet is made of a specific and unique combination of energies that determines the characteristics and behavior. Let's dive deeper into the 7 planets, starting with the Sun. The sun god, Surya, is the primary leader of the 9 planets of Hindu astrology. The sun represents the self and has masculine energy. Surya, the sun, is depicted with 4 hands, holding a lotus flower, a conch and a chakra, a discus and a gada, the mace. He is often portrayed as riding a chariot driven by 7 horses. These 7 horses represent the 7 colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. The 7 horses are also represented as the 7 chakra centers in the human body and the 7 days of the week. If the sun is well placed in a birth chart, the native will be bestowed with intelligence, strong will, character, vitality, authority, courage, confidence, and leadership. At the same time, if the sun is too strongly placed, it will result in pride, ego, and overconfidence, self-centered nature trying to outshine everyone else. A weakly placed Saturn may turn a person into a weak being due to the lack of confidence. Low self-esteem, will be dominated by others, and will have lack of energy. The sacred text of Surya, the sun god, is a Aditya Hridayam Strotham, which is a hymn in glorification and praise of him as the ruler of the universe, remover of all diseases, and the source of peace. The day of the week for the sun god is Sunday. The precious gem is ruby. In order to gain blessings of the sun god and strengthen your sun, one must worship him every day. In the morning, after taking a bath, one should face east, looking at the direction of the sun, offer water to him, and pay salutations by chanting his mantras. Moving on to the moon. Chandra is known as the moon goddess. Parvati is the presiding deity or god of the moon. The moon represents the feminine creativity energy. Chandra, the moon, is portrayed with 2 hands, holding a club and a lotus. He rides his chariot across the sky every night. Yes, I did I did call the moon god a goddess, but in the Hindu mythology, it's still called a he. The moon rides a chariot across the sky every night, pulled by 10 white horses on an antelope. According to Hindu mythology, Lord Chandra came from the sea during the churning of the ocean. He is the father of Buddha, planet Mercury. He is married to the 27 daughters of Lord Daksha, after whom the nakshatras are named. The sacred text praises the moon as the lord of the wise men and remover of all sins. helps remove the afflictions caused by his ancestors. The text also hails the moon as the fulfiller of wishes and dreams. Worshipping the moon is said to bring relief from all sorrows and helps in increasing mental and emotional strength. Lord Chandra, the moon, adorns the head of Lord Shiva. Worshipping moon on Mondays is an effective way of getting his blessings. The precious gem is pearl. If the moon is strongly placed, it signifies encouraging, caring, sensitive, and receptive qualities, along with being emotionally mature, mentally strong, responsible, and being helpful and beneficial to others. On the other hand, if the moon is weakly placed or associated with a negative planet, it is an afflicted moon. Afflicted moon can cause mental disturbance, emotional instability, confused thoughts, poor reasoning, and personality disorders. The moon is easily influenced by the energies of other planets. It symbolizes relationships and communication with others. Moving on to Mercury. Buddha is known as Mercury. Buddha is the god of intelligence, communications, fine arts, humor, and wit. He is also the god of merchandise and protector of merchants. This planet governs the nervous system. Worshipping Buddha on Wednesdays is the effective way to get his blessings. The precious gem is the emerald. The moon is the father of Mercury. There is a story behind Mercury being the stepson to Jupiter, which I will now share. Moon used to go to Jupiter to learn and study. Jupiter was married to Tara. She fell in love with the moon, as he was extremely handsome to look at. In the course of time, both Tara and the moon developed an affair that caused the birth of Mercury. After the birth of Mercury, Jupiter came to know that Mercury is not his real son. Mercury is an illegitimate birth due to Tara and the moon. Hence, Jupiter got angry, and that is why Jupiter is enemy to Mercury. Mercury is generally depicted with 4 hands, 3 of his hands holding a sword, a shield, and a mace, while the 4th one gestures dispensing boons. He rides an eagle or chariot drawn by lions. According to the sacred text, Buddha, Mercury, is the bestower of happiness and intelligence. The text praises him as the god who can cure all kinds of diseases. The sacred text praises Buddha as a giver of knowledge and wealth. Worshipping of Buddha has the power to stop the misdeeds of the enemies. Moving on to Venus. Shukra is known as Venus. The word Shukra in Sanskrit means clear and bright, and as such, Venus is the brightest planet. Venus can often be seen within a few hours after sunset or before sunrise as the brightest object in the sky, other than the moon. It looks like a very bright star. Venus is the brightest planet of the solar system. Venus has feminine energy. Goddess Lakshmi is the presiding deity. Venus gives the ability to understand others and love them. According to Hindu mythology, Shukra is the son of sage Brigulso, referred to as Shukracharya. There is also another version that Venus, the master and teacher of the demons called Asura Guru, resided and meditated inside the stomach of Lord Shiva for 1,000 years. Then Lord Shiva ejected Venus into the world as a live being. Venus was granted the status of a planet because he stayed inside Lord Shiva's physical body for many years. In another account, found in the Mahabharata. Shukra divided himself into two, one half becoming the fount of knowledge for the devas, the gods, and the other half being the knowledge source of the asuras, the demons. That is why Venus has two assigned signs, Taurus and Libra. Taurus is the zodiac sign for material wealth, and Libra is the zodiac sign for relationships. Two temporary satisfactions where when Venus is exalted in Pisces, the development of the deep and spiritual sign is true and ultimate happiness, obtaining moksha. Shukra, Venus, is portrayed with four hands and seated on a white lotus. He holds a stick, beads, lotus. Sometimes he is portrayed holding a bow and arrow and standing with a white horse. If Shukra is strongly placed within your birth chart, it can provide you with wealth, luxuries, worldly pleasures, gains, favor of luck, peace of mind, strong intellect, higher position, and expertise in art and music, and a very good love and marital life. Inherent sense of beauty, harmony, devotion, and sensitivity. On the other hand, if Venus is a weakly placed planet in your birth chart, then it attributes to these weak characteristics. Worshipping Venus on Friday is an effective way to get his blessings. The precious gem is the diamond. Moving on to Mars. Mars, known as Mangala or Mangal or Angarika. Planet Mars is red in color and a fiery planet. Its energy is masculine. According to Hindu mythology, Mars is the son of Bhumi, goddess Earth, and Varaha, the boar. Mars is also associated with Lord Kartikeya, was born from 6 sparks that fell from the eyes of the Lord Shiva into a lake near Madras, southern India. From the sparks, 6 children were created. But once Parvati, who is Lord Shiva's wife, embraced them all together with such affection that she squeezed them into one body and 6 heads, the newborn became known as the god of war, Kartikeya. Mars is a forceful planet and symbolizes desire, rash boldness, adventures, physical strength, primitive tendencies, self-dependency, power to withstand strain, independent nature, desire for position, warrior energy, as it is the commander of the divine army, drive and courage. It also denotes matters pertaining to one's siblings. Mars energy can be very constructive as well as destructive, and one needs to be very watchful. The role of Mars in astrology is of great significance because it often interferes with the marriage of a native due to a Mangal dosha. Mars in ancient mythology is often considered as red, angry-faced. It is also called the god of rage and celibate, unmarried. However, it is also responsible for courage and determination. People under the radar of this planet are often high-tempered and have rage in their heart. Every planet will affect a person in both positive and negative ways. Understanding your Mars placement and evaluating it within the birth chart will help you carefully understand the compatibility as well as the essential traits within your chart. There are many disagreements with Mangal dosha, so please have your birth chart fully evaluated by a trusted astrologer if you have any questions about a Mangal dosha in your chart. A strong Mars in a horoscope indicates favorable scenarios for a native. The Mars in flourishing mode will give youthful energy, power, and courage to compete in life, and bestows a person with good management skill. However, a weak or malefic Mars may dampen the thinking power of a person by making him full of rage, anger, and aggression. This may create hurdles in one's life, and the person may sometimes press the self-destruction button. Angarika, or Mars, is portrayed with 4 hands, carrying a trident, mace, lotus, and a spear. Wearing red clothes, he often rides on a ram or goat. Worshipping Mars on Tuesday is the effective way to get his blessings. The precious gem is the red coral. Moving on to Jupiter. Jupiter, known as Guru. It is the largest planet in the solar system. His energy is masculine and is considered as one of the most benefic planets. The presiding deity is Lord Dakshinamurti. Guru Jupiter is known by several names, like Brihaspati, Devaguru, Vyazan, Manan, Nani. Jupiter, the expansive planet, is attributed for character, seriousness, meditation, prayer, success, honor, and fortune, karma acquired in previous births, divine favor, fame, religious thought, wealth, good character, honesty, justice, and health. He signifies offspring and wealth. Jupiter is the son of Chitra Devi and Saint Angirasa, who is one of the favorite sons of Lord Brahma. Jupiter, or Guru, is depicted with 4 hands, holding a conch, chakra, and lotus, and wearing yellow clothes, standing in front of a white elephant or riding a chariot driven by horses. Described as a sage born from the first great light, the one who drove away darkness, is bright and pure, and carries a special bow whose strings is cosmic order, basis of dharma. His knowledge and character is revered, and he is considered guru or teacher by all of the devas or gods. Jupiter dedicated himself to the idol of Lord Shiva at Benares and performed penance for 10,000 years. Lord Shiva, immensely pleased, appeared before him and declared that he will be known as Jivan by humanity, Jiva Karaka, the life force energy, giver of life, and also the position of guru for devas or gods. Jupiter represents eternal intelligence and the divine spirit. He is filled with joy, fun, loving, and ready to share. Strong Jupiter gives robust health, joyful nature, creates inclination towards administration, management, education, religion, astronomy, and astrology. An afflicted Jupiter could lead to over-optimism, unwanted expenses, wastage of resources, problems in marriage and relationships, childbirth, and lack of wisdom. Jupiter shows the expansiveness of our spirit. However, his placement in one's natal birth chart reflects the degrees of grace and fortune in one's life. Worshipping Jupiter is the effective way to get his blessings. The precious gemstone is the yellow sapphire. Moving on to Saturn. Shani, known as Saturn, is a planet of masculine energy. Lord Shiva is the presiding deity of planet Saturn. Saturn is a very slow-moving planet. Saturn is also known by the names like Shani Dev, Ravina Dandana, Shaniswara. Saturday is considered the best day for worshiping Saturn. Blue sapphire is the gemstone of Saturn. Blue sapphire helps maintain mental clarity, clears confusion, and corrects the individual in making the right decisions. Saturn is a powerful planet that has power to obstruct, destroy, and depress. Saturn represents seriousness, strictness, longevity, old age, concentration, and meditation, discipline, restriction, and life sufferings. He is the significator of old age, death, and disease. Saturn, Lord Shani. Saturn is depicted as a dark complexioned man with two hands, carrying a bow and arrow, riding on a chariot dragged by a crow. Sometimes he is portrayed with four hands, carrying a sword, bow, and arrow, sitting on a buffalo. Shani is believed to be the incarnation of Krishna, where Krishna is said that he is Shani among planets. He is also called Shaniswar, meaning Lord of Saturn, and is designated the task of granting the fruits of one's actions, thus becoming the most feared amongst Hindu astrological gods. He is often the most misunderstood deity in the Hindu pantheon, as he is said to cause persistent chaos in one's life and is known to be milder if worshipped. Saturn is the son of the planet Sun. I will now share the story behind that. Sanjana married the sun god, ruler of the planets. The brilliance of the sun god, who gave light to the world, was too strong that she used to be frightened by the brilliance. Shortly after the marriage, Sun and Sanjana had three children named Manu, Yamraj, and Yamuna. Sanjana was unable to handle the brilliance and glare of the sun. She now had a darkened complexion and zapped her energy. She no longer feels any love for her husband. Her color now resembles the energies of evening dusk. So she makes a copy of herself named Chaya, which means shadow. Then Sanjana handed over the responsibility of looking after her children to Chaya and went to her father's house. Sun God did not notice the difference and had a child with Chaya, which is Saturn. Saturn is born of dark complexion, like his mother, and also inherits Chaya's serious and somber countenance. Sanjana comes to find out that Chaya had a son with the sun god and is upset. Sanjana's animosity towards Saturn grows stronger, and she does everything in her power to distance Saturn from the sun. Devoid of motherly love and fatherly attention, Saturn is distraught, depressed, lazy, and utterly directionless. The three children come of age, and time comes to bestow them with responsibilities. Sun announces to the children. Hearing this, Sanjana quickly poisons Sun's mind against the capabilities of Saturn and requests him to divide the responsibilities between Yamuna and Yama. So on the appointed day, Saturn, the elder son, is ignored, and Yama, the younger son, is given the title of Dharma Raj, King of Dharma, and is given the responsibility of upholding truth and humanity. Yama, though popularly known as God of Death, is not literally so. He merely appears at the appointed time of death so that he can cart away the soul and present the updated karma's balance sheet of life that has just gone by to the soul and explain with compassion, righteousness, and unwavering approach the good and bad deeds of the soul and the likely implications of the same in the afterlife. Yamuna is given the status of a holy river and is given the responsibility of washing away the sins of those who bathe in or partake of her waters. She is also given the responsibility of generating a spark of good thought in all those who touch her waters. Yama and Yamuna accept their responsibilities and leave. Saturn is left standing all alone. As son and older brother, he feels humiliated and insulted, unable to break the barriers of communication with his father, unable to invoke love from his mother, unable to express authority over his younger brother and sister, and unable to prove the capability that he believes he has. A rage builds up inside Saturn. To vent his anger, he seeks out Mother Sanjana and delivers a well-aimed kick in her womb, believing that she is an insult to the womb that she birthed him from. Shocked at this act, Sanjana retaliates by cursing Shani, Lord Saturn, to lose the leg that he kicked her with. Helpless, Shani lies on the ground. Sun God comes to inquire what is going on. Sanjana confesses to the sun and narrates about her clone Chaya and the birth of Saturn. Saturn is upset with rage and glows brightly and hotter than ever before. He accepts Saturn as his legitimate son, restores his lost leg, though a limp still remains, to honor the word of his mother's curse, and then makes amends by bestowing upon him the honor of a place in the solar system. Saturn's limp symbolizes why he is a slow-moving planet. The rivalry between the Sun and Saturn did not end here. To get his father back, Saturn pleased Lord Shiva by repenting harshly. When Lord Shiva asked him for a boon or reward, Saturn said his father, Sun, had troubled him by insulting his mother Chaya. So grant me the boon of being more remarkable and revered than my father's Sun. Then Lord Shiva gave a boon that, along with attaining the highest position, Saturn will also be the best judge and magistrate. Lord Shiva helps Saturn that the standard people and devas, gods, asuras, demons, siddhas, vyadyars, Gandhavaras and Nagas would be afraid of his name. That is why Saturn and Sun are worst bitter enemies. Astrologically, the placement of Saturn and Sun in the same house is not considered good. The old Vedic animosity will resurface, and the native will always feel the pressure of wanting to glow with pride of the Sun, but being subdued with the restrictions of Saturn. It is a balance that the native will seek to find in his life. Saturn is the most powerful of the planets and the giver of complete achievements. Saturn holds an inexplicable iron weapon in his hands. The gravitational force of Saturn is greater than the gravitational force of the Earth. Consequently, when we think positive or negative thoughts, they arrive at the strength of Saturn's power. According to Vedic astrology, strong and well-located Saturn in a chart will indicate a good capacity and ability to endure the hardships of life, a strong sense of responsibility, seriousness, self-discipline, and maturity. An afflicted Saturn can create difficulty in facing responsibilities or trying to avoid them, causing more problems and suffering. It can cause mental depression, loneliness, feeling of isolation, addictions, and chronic diseases. The sacred mantra, Shani Dev Mantra, describes Shani as a blue mountain. The mantra goes to hail Shani as the son of Surya, the sun god, and brother of god Yuma, the god of the underworld. Devotees believe chanting to the mantra with sincerity and devotion can alleviate all the sufferings and derive grace from Shani or Lord Saturn. It is also believed that Lord Shani does not trouble the devotees of Lord Hanuman, the monkey god and avatar of Lord Shiva. Therefore, worshipping Lord Hanuman will also help to a great extent in averting the negative energies from planet Saturn. As a recommendation, always please contact a trusted astrologer before wearing any types of gemstones for enhancing favorable conditions of these planets within your birth chart. It is very important to get your birth chart thoroughly analyzed before determining which gemstone is appropriate, as the planetary conjunctions and aspect relationships alter the planet energy and need to be taken seriously into consideration. I had only been providing the gemstones correlating to each planet for your knowledge. And that concludes our discussion for today. I hope you enjoyed learning about the mythological stories behind the planets. This was a longer video, but I wanted to make sure that I included all of those very interesting facts associated with these powerful stories. Next week, I will be discussing the Jaimini Karakas within the birth chart, another important concept in evaluating the birth chart further. So if you have gained knowledge in today's video, please like this video, and that will help it to become shared farther along YouTube, and more can benefit from the knowledge that I share. Please share this channel with anyone you know who has curiosity of Vedic astrology and would like to learn more. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you can be notified when I upload the next video. I post a video every week and introduce a new concept to add on to our Vedic astrology knowledge and expand your wisdom and help you all become the best version of yourselves. So take care for now, and I will meet all of you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.